Andrea Rossi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And today is March 26th, 2025. Um, Last time we spoke, you were getting ready for uh, a new partnership, but now you have a new partner.
Yes, correct.
Um, what can you tell us about this new partner and your relationship?
We are working very well. As you have seen, they have been um, they have been pretty much correct. So they are not going to release any kind of information until we are we together will be ready to start the deliveries. They accepted without discussions that they cannot absolutely collect, but they did not even have the intention to collect money before the deliveries. We corrected now the mistakes that I too had made in the former with the former partners, because probably I I have given as accepted from the beginning without any necessity to explicit it, that they couldn't they had to respect our sales policy that is written in our ecatorders.com. But this time I have made it clear explicitly from the beginning. They obviously were perfectly agree, and we are satisfied as for how things are going on, and that's
What
it.
is what is the relationship between Leonardo and the new partner in terms of who has control, who has decision making, final decision making responsibility?
They will be the licensees, so they will be free to do what they want, but along the conditions and the terms that have been established in the license agreement text. The license agreement text so far is under NDA, and but basically the conditions will be the same that I always said, and the prices will be maintained as I granted that would be at the moment of the deliveries and for all the pre-orders already made, independently on which will be the date of the delivery. And so, the experience passed with the first partnership attempt has been useful as experience to correct all the mistakes that had been made for my fault, because you know I had given for I have taken for the given uh, many issues that the partner did not absolutely consider as given for taken.
Okay. So you mentioned the prices that are set on Leonardo Corporation's website are
Yes,
the prices that will be paid by the customer.
yes.
And if there's any change, that will come from you.
Mm, Again, for what concerns the pre-orders,
Okay.
I said until we start the deliveries will be maintained fixed.
So basically, whatever price you set at the pre-order, that will be the price you pay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, perfect. Now, what about other organizations or businesses who want to be involved in ECAT commercialization manufacturing? Is there a place for those people?
Well, um, this is a matter of territory because every license encompasses a due territory. So inside the territory of the present partner, there will be no possibilities without a direct agreement between our partner and the um, persons that will try to have a sub-license. Outside of that territory, licenses are still possible.
Can you say at this point what the territories are that are
No,
under the no?
no, I cannot, but when we receive, and we are receiving, requests of license, first of all, we demand an NDA, and after the signature of the NDA, we'll communicate to them if the territory they are asking for the license is free or not.
Okay.
But they
Now,
will be bound not to reveal if, because they will be under NDA,
yeah.
either the territory is occupied or not.
Now, once the partner chooses to reveal themselves, then I suppose it would be possible for people to contact them directly and say, "Would like to work with you. Can we work out some agreement? Is that possible?"
Of course.
Okay. Okay. So now, what then are you, what? Okay, let me ask this. What are the responsibilities of the partner, and what are the responsibilities of Leonardo Corporation in this system?
You must be more confined because what this question occupies occup- the the space of the NDA. So
Okay.
you must be more specific, and I
Okay.
can tell you if it is possible to answer or not.
Okay. So what is the major activity of Leonardo Corporation at this point?
At this point, Leonardo Corporation in that territory, in the territory of the partner, is to give the maximum of sustain to prepare the manufacturing site, maximum consulting about the technology, and full participation to the research and development activity that is still on course in many fields.
So the partner will be doing the manufacturing. Leonardo will not be like manufacturing.
Not in their territory.
Okay, got it. Got it. And what about you personally? What are you spending your time with mostly these days?
With the partner.
Okay. So basically you're collaborating, you're training them
Yes,
and assisting them in all the requirements for getting the manufacturing ready.
they have access in my laboratories.
Oh, okay. Okay. Understood. So maybe they come to you or maybe you go to them.
Yes.
Okay. Um, what kind of testing is going on at the moment?
Well, the cat now is what it is, but it can be improved for the different fields of application. For example, applications to drones, applications uh, applications in fields, application in nautic fields, and other applications, I did not still arrive to solutions. But at the same time, we are testing together the product and resolving problems that emerge with the deliveries, even marginal but important problems like packaging, design that can be improved, um, and other and many other fields.
You mentioned looking at drones and maybe aviation or shipping or things like that. Have you had to get?
You know, drones are one thing,
Yeah.
much more because it is not a drone is not manned.
Okay.
For aviation, it will take much more time.
Sure. Have you received or have you applied for new certifications?
Yes,
Ha have you obtained any new certifications recently?
no, they are.
On course. Okay, understood. Um, so have you yet finalized? So let's say, for example, I order a 100-watt ECAT, or pre-order a 100-watt ECAT. Is the design of that finalized yet, or are you still working on the design and the size and the weight and things like that?
Yes, as we have written clearly in our data sheet that are published in ECAT.com, the we reserve. We have a disclaimer in which we reserve the right to change all the data except the power and the price. We reserve to change all the data if during our research and development operations we find ways to upgrade in uh, in some important directions they get. So if you pre-order a 100 watts ECAT, you can be sure that the power will not be less than that.
Right.
But you will be sure that the price will be that and the payment will be that, which means when we say we are sending to you they get today, you have to prepay, and we certify that you will receive the within X days, so many days, maybe 7, something like that, they get, and if not, you have the right to be refunded. And that that is the thing that will not change.
Right.
The other dimensions, weight, and other characteristics can be changed uh, without we have to ask anybody any kind of permission. Of course, the person or entity that has made the pre-order has the right, if we will change some parameter, he will have the right, as he has anyway, independently for the region, to cancel the pre-order
Right.
without any money change pockets.
So at what point will you say this is the final design? How long will you wait before you decide that this is the final design that will be shipped, at least at the beginning?
You know, every day we make a discovery. So I think I think I am not able to answer this question. some days before, some days before.
Okay, okay. So it could be right. Now you have on a few different comments I've read, you say, I promise or I guarantee that we will start delivering in 2025. Is that still the
Yes,
case?
this is my promise. Based, this is my promise, yes. And that I will do everything to do it. You know, I am not God. I do not have a crystal ball, and I do not know what tomorrow reserves. But as far as I know, today we are able to start the deliveries by this year.
Now, when you say that, when you start delivering, let's say someone orders a 1 kilowatt unit, will they receive a single unit, or will they be receiving multiple units that they have to assemble to make 1 kilowatt?
That depends on what they want to do. If they just want a simple 1 kilowatt unit, they will receive an assembly.
Okay, so it's pre-made.
But if they want to do, because I have many requests where they want to make different kind of assembly, etc. That will have to be made by the customer, and necessarily we recommend that they have to do it with an expert of the art and with a certified expert of the art. And we have put a disclaimer that if they do not do it, we are not responsible for the consequences, because if you assembly 10, 12 volts modules in series, you have 120 volts, and that can be dangerous.
Yeah.
If you are able to manipulate it, it can be deadly.
Now, when you say that, it makes me think, well, you could get like a licensed electrician, but there are no licensed electricians in the world yet who have any experience with working with ECATs.
Yes, but they cannot operate inside the ECAT. They are just assembling generators which have an output with a voltage of 12 volts. You know, the assembling is like to assemble batteries.
Right.
They cannot, for them, the rules of a licensed electrician do not need that he knows how works the ECAT. They have not to be experts of ECAT, but they have to be experts of 12 volts
Right.
direct current
Right.
generators, basically batteries. Also, if you have to connect in series 10 batteries of 12 volts, you need an expert electrician to do those. Because if you are not an expert, you can put your fingers after connecting 10 batteries of 12 volts. You have 120 volts that pass through your body.
Right.
That
Right.
is not a pleasant experience.
Okay, understood. Yeah. So, in other words, it's not going to be a terribly complicated process for an expert to work with these different.
Absolutely not. Also, because we supply a manual so that any licensed electricians reading the manual that is written how to assemble, and is idiot proof basically. And then every licensed electrician, even if he is not a very good one, he understands perfectly the dangers that can be when he assembles them.
So, with your intention then to start deliveries this year, do you have any sort of media strategy or any kind of because this is a huge deal. This is a technology that will be very impactful. how do you approach that in terms of becoming recognized by the world as being a producer of a great new technology?
We have we have already made agreements in this sense.
Okay. So in other words,
with major media.
Okay, very good, very good. I remember when we were talking about the Latina test, or prior to the Latina test, you had talked about a dangerous problem that you had to address. So we had to delay the Latina test. Has that issue been fully resolved now?
No, we do not. No. You mean when we had a fire?
Yes.
Following, yes. No. We do not have any kind of risk of that kind.
Okay, so it's not like that was probably an important learning experience for you.
Yes.
So when somebody gets an ECAT, there's nothing dangerous that could happen if they used it correctly.
Absolutely.
Okay. How about is this a technology that you think that would be possibly politically hot? Let me just say that. Do you have any concerns about political or economic implications that might be disruptive to countries or to economies?
I am not a politician. My mission is not to worry about politics, and of course, there will be. I think that this technology can be very useful for the majority of the world's population. And, when cars have been invented and made popular, horses have been confined in horse tracks.
Yeah.
And but still we have very beautiful horses. My mission is not political.
Right.
And politics are chosen by people democratically.
Understood.
Mainly. And people will choose what they will want.
Well, Andrea, I think that I've covered most of the points that I have intended to cover. How is your health?
My health is spectacular. Thanks to God. Thanks to God.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
In English, is more proper to say thanks God or thanks to God.
Normally, we would say thanks to God.
Thanks to God. So as I thought, yes, very good.
Okay. Well, I hope that continues, and we look forward to hopefully a successful launch this year.
Thank you, but at this point, tell me which is your health at this point.
My health is fine. Thank you very much.
Very well. Very well, my friend. Have a great day, you and all your followers.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.